seems like I can only record these videos at night, but again, thank you for clicking on the video. Hope that we can again bring some content that is going to be valuable to you and hopefully help you in your experience and help you along your journey. So we're going to be covering in this video is essentially the story about how I personally created a business in about under an hour. So it's going to need some backstory, but hopefully what we're going to detail in this video is, how I brainstormed the whole idea, how I created the website in about that sort of time as well, under an hour, how I kind of picked the industry I wanted to be in, what are the product services I decided to offer, and seeing that this is a month now that I've been in business, what lessons I've learned from then till now. We launched the 1st of October and I'm recording this on the 20th of October, so just about a month in business, and just wanted to share any lessons that I've learned as well. So number one, brainstorming. So there's going to be a need to be a little backstory. I previously used to tutor, and as I tell everybody, it kind of gets to a point where it was not finding as much fulfillment in that. Obviously helping one person at a time individually with their issues, and sometimes you do a group session. But I was really, really, really trying to get at something that I could do on a greater scale and connect and move persons more intensely than just helping them in one subject. So as I've detailed before, I just wanted to bring value to more people and touch more persons' lives, encourage, inspire, motivate, because I kind of think that's something that I am somewhat good at and trying to be better, of course, but be something that I genuinely and truly and intrinsically just enjoy making other people's lives better. It just gives me, like, it fills me up just to hear, like, yo, listen, you helped me so much, X and Y, blah blah blah. So in doing that, that's why I wanted to make persons better students, because there's some subjects that I personally couldn't tutor. Like, I ain't good at history. I hate history. Don't ask me to teach a language, computer science, all them things. It's not me. But probably math, accounts, other business subjects was kind of right up my alley. So there's a whole subsection of persons that I couldn't help, I couldn't touch. So making persons better students through online content, and given it's online, it can reach more persons as well. That was the decision, coupled with something we'll get into earlier, obviously less capital expenses. But that's the whole purpose, really trying to make persons better students, and they can get into the product and services later. But yeah, it's kind of what pushed me into this field. And I actually have the paper here, so now it was just getting a name and deciding what we're gonna do. And me and my mom was here. I was like, I want to start something, and she was like, well, you gotta give it a name. So this is actually the list of names I was thinking about. So just to give you a couple examples briefly, reteaching, Learnoza, Teach It, Major League Learning, Educare was kind of, I think that was kind of taken. Thinking about web learning, obviously that was taken already too. Pursue learning, that was real very close to, instead of being web learn, pursue learning. But again, I'm kind of letting play on words, and it has like a big fulfillment for me personally, because like over the last year and some, I've gained, I think, the majority of knowledge I know about business and just interactions with customers and sales and stuff from the internet. So I really wanted to carry across that message as well. It's kind of right dear to me. So like, I couldn't say web learning, so I call it web learn, because I believe I myself, as cheesy as it sounds, I am web learned as well, right? So that's kind of the whole process. That was the whole brainstorming, why I want to get in this field, X and Y, right? So now, the website. So hopefully we're gonna cut to a nice little video on where I show you the website, and then a little behind the scenes for a couple of minutes, and then we come back. So see ya. We get into how I created the website, how I did it, what hosting platform I use, how I drive traffic. So those three things. So I'm currently using GoDaddy. I think I'm going to continue using GoDaddy. It's very user friendly. I didn't have much experience building a website, and again, as the video title says, I was able to do all this within an hour. So once I had the name, I just kind of went for it, got a website. This was initially supposed to be a very basic landing page. For anybody that doesn't know what that is, it just means that it's a kind of very basic page where you just tell people to opt in by giving you their information. So I personally requested their name, email, or phone number. Then I would get into further contact with them if they want a consultation or something of the sort. But since I recently upgraded, I have 4 pages now. I think I have a limit of like 5 or 6 pages I can make. I'm not sure. But I was able to add this page recently for persons who want to get an insight into the quality we provide. So you have the ability to download our latest ebook and our latest newsletter. And down here, it just kind of tells us about the mission of WebLearn to improve learners everywhere through online education, because everyone is constantly learning. So I was able just to set this up. I have now a product and services page. We now have a product and services page, and we're going to talk about products and services later. But the ebooks, the newsletters, mentorship, and coaching, a little description about each, showing that the newsletter and ebook are now currently free. Try and get yours now because we don't know how long we'll be able to keep, especially the ebook for free. Our mentorship sessions, our one-on-one coaching, all right. And then we have our blog. Again, we're trying to create content to better students and learners everywhere. So we do want a portion that is strictly free, that is dedicated to improving their habits and their abilities. So we only have 3 articles. We're trying to get to posting 2 articles a week, but currently the categories we have are only education and productivity. We try to get into self improvement somewhere along the line. And finally, our last page is a contact page. Connect with us on social. I do advise that. That'd be kind of awesome if you think that's cool. But now to talk about how we drive traffic, because I kind of outline how we made the website. It's very simple actually. As I said, it's only going to cost about 35 US or 75 Barbadian dollars. Very simple. If you just want somewhere where persons can get in contact with you and the service or product you provide, even if you are a physical product, right? So how we drive traffic? Well, we're currently doing cold calls. I guess is an entrepreneurship. So I'm currently doing cold calls. Put us on posters by the university. This upgrade in my subscription also came with some SEO and some other marketing tools that I have not fully taken advantage of yet. But that's to the extent of how I'm driving traffic. Obviously, probably through the YouTube videos. If you're interested, you can see it here now. But that's probably the main ways of driving traffic. And I just want to emphasize again that make sure that you register with the appropriate authority, because obviously when you do this, you're going to have a brand and some following behind you, and you don't want to have that brand and following and someone else own the name. So make sure you take the appropriate steps to also properly register yourself in whatever industry you're in. And that's kind of the synopsis of of how we of how the website was created. So on to part number 3, how I picked the industry. All right. So I hope you enjoy that kind of little aside to show you the website, the kind of ins and the outs, how we designed it, etc. But now we're going on to our third point with regards to why I picked the industry I did. So part of me always feels like I'm not qualified, and we all have insecurities and things of that nature. But for me, it was a case I kind of sat down and was like, everyone in my life was telling me, like you're a good person to like mentor somebody else or give someone advice, or you're very personable, or you have good like uh interpersonal skills, communication, etc. And I really never paid attention to it, but I was asked to talk to a family member to try to encourage him with regards to schooling and what's not, and it was really cool. And I left feeling like, wow, I left felt feeling like not drained because I was trying to help somebody else, but more like fulfilled, and it was kind of awesome. And I was like, wow, yeah, like this is what you got to do. So because more so education now, I think that during the pandemic, I think education was something definitely that some of the cracks got exposed, so to speak. And that's the same with any system. I'm not bashing the educational system, but obviously there's some things that can be worked on. That how I put it is that um look at how far computers and technology has come. We have, smartphones that were probably like supercomputers 10 years ago, and we have electric cars and stuff, hybrid vehicles. But we kind of talk the same way. You kind of get 20, 30 children in the classroom and you have one teacher. And unfortunately, there's some persons who are not, best reached or, encouraged by such a format. And I think that there are some persons who, are obviously very productive and very successful. But I realized that there were a lot of persons putting in a certain amount of effort and not getting out the necessary output. So I wanted to help those persons maximize the effort they're putting in by kind of re-strategizing the processes and methods that they use in their studying, learning, inside the classroom, etc. So that's what we thought. So if you and yourself are thinking about something that you want to pursue, try to make sure it at least has these three things. That it's something that you like to do to some degree, because then it won't feel like working. Because I actually like doing this, and even if it's one person that is greatly affected, that's awesome to me. So actually have some desire or like for what you're doing. Make sure you can get good at it. Even if you don't start good at it, you can see a path to where you actually get better and improve. So something that you could become good at. And three, certain people pay money for it. Like as much as cliche as it is, we all need to pay bills. We all need to survive. This is how the world works. Nothing is necessarily free. But if you can have an overlap with those three things, make sure that it's something that you actually enjoy or have a passion for. You can continue to improve or get good or even get great at it. And it's something that persons are willing, that you can monetize, something that people will buy for. And that is what my approach was, right? So now, products and services. And let me guide you through, hopefully in the website video, because obviously I'm recording that after the fact. So hopefully when we look through the website, I showed you guys the products and services. Actually, I can put much red, talk to them about the products and services. Do not forget. But I chose online products and services because of the low capital expenses. I don't have to produce another ebook when I want to sell it. I don't have to print another book. I just send it to another person, and that way I can reach more persons, and more persons can benefit. And obviously you get better margins and stuff. And because I started this really with less than $100, and that is 100 Barbadian dollars. Yeah. Initially, to get the website up and running is why I chose online products and services, because those type of services come with low capital expenses and you can mark them up accordingly. So it's not just intrinsic value due to like the materials that go into it. The information and the experience is what communicates the value to the customer. So that's why I did what I did. But it's just important to note that usually a product is something tangible or is a good, and a product is, the value of a product is determined by the person who receives it. So I buy groceries. Oh, this is like grade B beef. I don't like that. I want high quality stuff. But when you deal with service, the value is more communicated by the service provider. So to get a better service, the service provider has to, do a better, provide you, the customer, a better service. So that he got to clean your car better, or if you are, seeking a mechanic, he has to, be a better mechanic, and then he can charge more, etc. So for me, the products would be the ebook and probably the newsletter to some degree. Services would be the mentorship and the coaching. And again, hopefully you guys will run through that earlier. So finally, the lessons I've learned. For anybody, and I hope those in the, if you're really looking to have, I think the real meat of this video is here at the end. So hopefully I can even make a little snippet in the beginning to make sure a person sees this part, but this is probably the most important part. Even though this has been a month, I think this has been like a year and a half in the making, me undertaking this journey, because I've learned so much. And not even just, as I said, prior to this month in business, but one thing I would tell anybody who want to become an entrepreneur is to learn how to sell. Like, you can have the most amazing product, but selling is not like in a sleazy way, but showing that you can communicate and convey emotion and convey value such that someone can see, oh, well, this would be beneficial for me. Now, why would I give up money or my funds for this thing? So is communication and invoking emotion in persons more so than like, oh, buy this thing and I trying to exploit, Learn how to sell, learn how to communicate value, and show that persons should or persuade persons, because most of the persons know that what you're selling can benefit them. So persuade them to why they should use the thing. Number two, whatever products and services you have, don't create it first. Ensure that there is a demand for your product or service before you even get into it. And I can tell you why. And not just over the internet. There are many stories of persons who are very in depth in the research and development of a new product or service, and they bring it to market, and oh, it has like a fatal flaw because like they didn't tweak this one thing, or it's not like ergonomic, so no, it's not going to do as well as it does. Make sure that you actually have proof of concept and that there are things, this is something that people want. So for me, it was like, well, I was the calling persons, and because of my background in tutoring, I always hear persons, I wish I had somebody to talk to my son, not just about like math or statistics or whatever the case is, but like to really like invoke principles about life and how to like get motivated and stay self-disciplined, how to create a better routine. And I was hearing these over and over and over, and it was like, yo, this is like a big need, because school doesn't teach persons how to study, you know what I mean, or how to revise or how to perform on exams. They kind of just teach us to like, consume information and then regurgitate it on the test. At least this part of the world. So just make sure that whatever you're doing you're fulfilling a need to someone that they are willing to pay for. Let's say that again. And finally, you have to be always open to learning. Like, I am constantly learning. I'll never tell you that I feel like I'm the foremost authority on anything I'm saying. Even this video, like, take it with a grain of salt, probably a bucket of salt, whatever the case is. But you have to always be willing to have your views challenged and be willing to alter your perception of things, because there's new information coming out all the time. If they like, for example, like Instagram or social media, let me look at Reels, for example. Instagram Reels are no more popular than posts, but if you were a very potent and very well-known, Instagram personality probably 5 years ago, when Reels were not as popular because Instagram reacted to TikTok, but you'll be, oh yeah, posts and carousels is the way to go, and these hashtags and posting this and posting that. With new information, your analysis should change, and we're also constantly all getting new information. And in addition, there's always someone that knows more about something than you do. So you should always be willing to compromise your view if the person you're speaking to has way more experience or is a more sound authority on what they're speaking than you are. That's the whole premise of school. These persons went to school, they learned this thing, and they were specially trained. That's why they can tell us. So always be open to not even just from persons, but to have your view challenged, because that is either A, when you are reinforced, oh yeah, I'm right, because I did the research and I know that is not better than what I do. Or I do the research and oh yes, this is definitely 10 times better than what I do. So let's review those 3 lessons. Learn how to sell, communicate value, talk to persons, convey emotion, so that you persuade persons to make a decision that is in their best interest. Number 2, ensure there's a demand for your products and services before you put them to market. So have some research and development phase before you make things go live. And number 3, always be willing to learn. Always want to improve and get better. Keep reading, watch videos. Like the internet is an awesome place for consumption of valuable information. Like I've even learned from TikTok. Never thought that was possible, but continue to learn and get better. So as I always say, guys, it's you versus you. You know what I mean? Just be better than you were yesterday. Compare yourself to you and continue to have an awesome day. If you're not, I wish you the best tomorrow and continue to be better. It's you versus you. I out of here.